Dudes! Maximilian here, and we're going to talk about the consoles coming out at the end of this year and those games I'm excited for. But first, why the hell don't you own a Dreamcast?
We got her!
It's thinking.
Seriously, man, if you don't know what the hell this is, I feel sorry for you. Debuting on September 9th, 1999, the Dreamcast just recently celebrated its 14th year anniversary. Holy shit, I'm old. Not only did this thing introduce revolutionary graphics, it literally changed how games would be perceived from this point forward, because arcade games no longer the most dominant looking video games on the market. They were on this son of a bitch. I have my reasons for loving the Dreamcast as a console. It literally brought the arcade games I grew up with at home with perfect arcade pixel ports. Genius! But as you guys know me, I've grown up and my tastes have definitely changed. I was a Sega fanboy as a kid. I followed the Saturn, I had a Genesis, I had a Dreamcast. But as I grew up, I found following consoles directly not that advantageous, and it kind of limits the kind of games you play. So with the next generation of consoles right on the horizon, I'm looking forward to what the PlayStation 4 is bringing us game-wise, as well as the Xbox One. We're not going to be talking about the Wii U. Sorry.
What the fuck, man?
In all seriousness though, there is some stuff on the Wii U I'm looking forward to, like Wonderful 101, Bayonetta 2, and Super Smash Bros. Wii U? That's really the title? Jesus. But I really want to talk about the new big heavy hitters, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. We'll start with the launch titles and what I'm really looking forward to. And there is definitely one system that gets my huge favor of launch titles that I will give mad props to, and that's Xbox One. Right now, between both of the consoles, there is a assload of third-party games. Literally a truck and buttload of so many games that are going to be on both PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I was looking forward to this, and I was actually kind of excited about getting these games for the PlayStation 4 because the Xbox One had those ridiculous-ass DRM policies, but those were reversed. And that was a big motivating factor for me buying all these third-party games on PS4 so I can kind of individually protest the fact that I'm not going to support your crazy horseshit on this system. There was a couple of games that were initially coming out on Xbox One that there's no way I'm going to avoid, which was obviously Killer Instinct. And another game that a lot of you guys might not know that I have a huge affection for, and it's called Crimson Dragon. For some of you dudes that grew up in a similar time frame as me, Crimson Dragon is made by the same guys who created the Panzer Dragoon series for the Sega Saturn. These include Panzer Dragoon, Panzer Dragoon Zwei, and Panzer Dragoon Saga on that system. However, there was a sequel that followed up a little bit later on the original Xbox called Panzer Dragoon Orta. These games are freaking fantastic. They are rail shooters, they do kind of hark back to an old arcade style of gameplay, but my god, man, they have amazing visuals, amazing music, and a pretty decent story along with it. It's also just really fun to play. Crimson Dragon is bringing back all of that, and what's awesome is that it still harks back to an old classic way of playing games. Rail shooters aren't that very much sought after anymore, and getting huge critical success is kind of hard with a genre of that type, especially a very niche one like the Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is why I can give Microsoft bonus points for bringing back something I love so much, and actually calling back to the original Xbox's release with Panzer Dragoon Orta. That's pretty cool. Crimson Dragon's actually going to make an Xbox One appearance, but not in physical release form. It's kind of funny that the two games that are coming out on Xbox One that I am the most freaking excited for are technically budget titles, and they're only digital releases. I think Crimson Dragon's probably going to be less than $30 when it comes out. I swear to God, if it's a Kinect required game, I will rip your freaking heads off. Or I will eat this Dreamcast. Seriously, I'll do it. That game seriously needs to have regular controls, and I think for a while when it was in development over in the Japanese side of the Xbox division, it was motion control only. Kinect bullshit the video game. Please God no, I don't want to look like I'm flying around like an asshole. I just want to play a video game that looks amazing, that sounds amazing, and plays amazing. Next up on the list, of course, we know, is Killer Instinct. I don't think I need to say anything more about this. You guys already know I'm a pretty freaking big Killer Instinct fan. I have more swag than possibly anybody else for Killer Instinct. Please prove me wrong. And I've already played a lot of the game, and I've played multiple versions of the game, and I've seen it updated, and I respect what Double Helix is doing because they're being very open about their development. That's cool. I give you guys bonus points for that, but it is still a budget title, releasing at only $20 for the core game. That's 2 games I'm looking forward to. The other one, I had a huge difference split between myself whether or not I wanted to get this on PlayStation 4 launch or Xbox One launch. And since this is about the games I'm personally looking forward to, not the huge blockbuster titles that are for each system, I'm not going to talk about Rise on Xbox One, I really don't care. I'm not going to talk about Killzone on PS4, I really don't care about that one either. I'm only going to talk about the stuff I'm really looking forward to. And that was Call of Duty Ghosts. Anybody watching this channel knows I've played a lot of Call of Duty in the past, and with Black Ops 2, that Call of Duty fever kind of went way down, and I really couldn't keep playing the game. Black Ops 2 just wasn't doing it for me. So I'm thinking that maybe Call of Duty Ghosts could be the game because there is a huge selling point on Xbox One different from other systems, and it's that it will be on dedicated servers. This might have been announced for PC, however, that's a big thing. That's a thing that I've been waiting for a hell of a long time, and that guarantees I'm going to be buying the game on that system. I'm curious to see the graphical differences between the third-party games, how Xbox One games are going to look in comparison to PS4 games, and I might do a little bit of a comparison video. But I'm still on the fence right now whether or not I'm going to be buying multiple launch titles on PlayStation 4. I was considering Battlefield 4, but there's been some weird things that have been talking about the console version of the game not running good. I might just get that game on PC. But for the most part, that kind of eliminated a lot of games off the PlayStation 4's launch lineup that I was very excited for. Both games have racing games. You got Forza and you got Drive Club, and to be honest guys, those basic racing games like simulation racing games don't do a thing for me. I really get excited about like arcade style racers. If they released a new Sega Rally on the new systems and it was PlayStation exclusive, I'd be there in a freaking heartbeat. However, there is stuff on the horizon for the PlayStation that I'm really excited for, and that's games like Infamous Second Son, possibly the most impressive looking game on that system. It looks really cool, however, there is a huge crutch for myself personally, and it is an open world game. I didn't really care about the previous Infamouses, but it looks cool. I will definitely acknowledge that. Capcom's Deep Down looks interesting, although, my god, dude, after what they recently showed at that press conference, it's literally Assassin's Souls. It's a combination of Assassin's Creed and Dark Souls, and it's kind of unapologetic about it, except that it's online all the time. I don't know if that's exactly a good idea. It looks interesting, it looks captivating, it just needs to play well. The big issue is that these aren't anywhere near the launch of the game. I believe Infamous Second Son is like 6 months out, and who knows about Deep Souls or Assassin's Souls, or whatever the hell they end up calling it in the long run. There is another title that has me the most interested, something that will absolutely cement my purchase of a PlayStation 4 as soon as it's released. Import or not, I will find a way to play it, and that's Guilty Gear Xrd. This game looks freaking stupidly amazing. You guys might not remember, but I made some Guilty Gear videos before, and within those Guilty Gear videos, I talked about my history with the game, and I played Guilty Gear for like 3 years, between the original Guilty Gear on PlayStation, Guilty Gear X on Dreamcast, and Guilty Gear XX on PlayStation 2. Those games were sick. The reason I remember them and have such a huge fond memory of them is because back in the day I was really into anime, and that kind of was like the fighting game designed to look just like all the TV shows and movies you watch. Huge high fidelity graphics, the biggest pixel characters you can possibly see in a fighting game. It was amazing. It looked gorgeous, and holy flipping whoop shit, the new game looks just as good. It's freaking amazing. At the Sony press conference, there was an announcement for Guilty Gear Xrd on PlayStation consoles, and believe it or not, this is not just coming out on PlayStation 4. It's coming out on PS3 and PlayStation 4 in 2014. One of the greatest things about PS4 is similar to the PlayStation 3, the system is region-free for anyone in the world to enjoy video games. That is so good for guys like me that cannot wait for the localized version to come out, and especially with certain types of fighting games, you don't exactly need huge localized versions. And if this game makes a release on PlayStation 4's Japanese market before the release of the American localized version, I will be on that shit faster than an F-Zero driver on a lazy Sunday.
That didn't make any sense.
I know it didn't. I don't care. I want the video game. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get the game. And it was a similar mentality I had for Killer Instinct on Xbox One. I was gonna do whatever it took to get that game. Save up as much money as I possibly could, and do whatever it takes to get it in my hands playable. Even with their ridiculous ass DRM policies, and I made separate videos talking about that crap. Thank God it's gone, but I have a similar feeling for PlayStation 4. I will purchase the system outright just to play Guilty Gear Xrd. So there is stuff out there. There is stuff on the horizon that I'm really looking forward to. What I haven't talked about is probably one of my most anticipated games that is on the horizon as well, and that's Titanfall. Yo, dude, you want to talk about a Call of Duty killer? This is it. Made by the same dudes that made the original Call of Duty 4 and several games before it that were hugely successful. These are the guys that know how to make shooting games, and they've made them very well in the past. I have no doubt that Respawn Entertainment, mostly composed of ex-Infinity Ward guys that made Call of Duty 4, were designing Titanfall to be a Call of Duty killer. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready for something fresh, new, with a bunch of combat and aerial mobility and robots and all this crazy bullshit. Yes. Yes, something different than just calling in airstrikes and shooting people with my gun. This sounds like fun. That game's coming out on both PC and Xbox One in April of next year, and let me know what you guys think about the titles I've mentioned in this video. This is the stuff you'll personally see coverage from myself on this channel and our second channel, youtube.com/YoVideoGames, for all the single-player stuff. But let me know what you guys think between these games, which games are you getting, which consoles are you getting at launch, and we'll have a conversation in the comments below. My name is Maximilian, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. They totally bought it. We're alone.